Governor Inslee, thank you. We're going to move on now to questions, and the topic is COVID-19 and the clear differences between the two candidates. Chief CULP, the first question is going to be for you. While President Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis certainly brought out well wishes, it also renewed criticism that he doesn't take the virus seriously. You have faced the same criticism. You called the mask mandate a, quote, bunch of crap. You continue to hold large campaign rallies where hundreds of people are in attendance. What do you say to those who believe that your approach would not only kill more people, but would prolong the pandemic? You have 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Right. I've never come out and spoke against wearing masks. I came out against the direction and the order from the government, a public servant that sits in the governor's office. Everyone in government, whether appointed or elected, are public servants. And I firmly believe in individual freedom and liberty. I believe in safety, obviously. I've been working in public safety for the last 10 years. The problem is when we have one person sitting in the governor's office telling everyone what they're going to wear, whether they're going to go to work or whether they're not going to go to work. That's the problem that I've had with this. And as governor, I would put out the information with medical professionals, tell everyone what's going on, what they should do to protect themselves, and what might happen if they don't, and make sure the supply chain is open for the equipment that's needed, and then let free individual citizens decide what's best for themselves, their family, and their business. Because you can't tell me that a barber with one customer in his store can't cut that person's hair safely and protect him and his customers, but a marijuana store or an abortion clinic or a big box store is okay to open with 100 or 200 people in it. That is not common sense, and it's lacking in the governor's office right now, and I will bring that to Olympia.
And remember, we will have time for rebuttals and follow-ups, but first, Governor Inslee, to you. Washingtonians have now been living under your COVID mandates for 200 days, more than 200 days. They were told first to stay home, stay healthy. 3 months ago, you told them that if they masked up, we could open up. In May, you introduced a phased-in approach to reopen the economy called Safe Start, but just 2 months after that, it paused indefinitely. And despite announcing just 1 day before this debate that you would start to lift more restrictions because we've made progress, counties still can't move into the next phase. Why should voters, after 7 months, believe that you have a coherent plan to reopen the state? You have 1 minute and 15 seconds.
It's really quite simple. It is because we are saving Washington's lives by the hundreds, maybe the thousands. There's been 210,000 people who've lost their lives in America, over 2,000 in the state of Washington. And our fundamental duty is to save those lives. And there's good news here, because this is working. This is working big time. I'm pleased to share with my fellow Washingtonians that tonight, what we have done in our social distancing, in our masking campaign, because Washingtonians are not listening to Donald Trump, and frankly, Chief CULP, they are wearing masks. They are socially distancing. And as a result of that, we have lowered our infection rate dramatically. Tonight, we were fortunate 45 other states in the United States have higher infection numbers, some 5-10 times more than the state of Washington. This translates for people going home with their families, parents being able to see their children, grandparents that I think still have value, I believe, in this society. Their lives will be saved. And we are opening our economy. We've been doing that for 2 months. We've opened all kinds of bowling alleys, more restaurant activity, wedding parlors, agribusiness, and that will continue in the next few weeks.
Chief CULP, you have the first chance at rebuttal here. I do want you to speak specifically. You know, we've talked about the governor's mandates. Do you believe that the governor's mandates have ultimately saved lives? And you have 45 seconds to respond to the governor's answer there.
Yes, he claims that his mandates are saving lives. But the federal government set the state approximately $29 per patient per day in our nursing homes. And we know by the data that those are the most vulnerable among us is the people living in nursing homes, the elderly. Over 61% of the people who have died have been in nursing homes. The federal government sent $29 per patient per day for nursing homes, for extra staff, extra equipment. And this governor said, no, we're not sending them $29 per day for extra staff and extra equipment in the nursing homes. We're only sending them $5 a day. I would like to know where the rest of that money's going, because it came up to about $41 million, I believe.
Governor Inslee, I want to give you a chance to rebuttal here to what Chief CULP has said. And I also want you to just weigh in. You know, he talks a lot about the Constitution and that being his guidebook for how he'd handle this and how he'd govern in general. So can you just touch on also in your response how you use the Constitution, the state Constitution, when you go about putting some of these mandates down and making these decisions?
Well, I follow the Constitution in all its respects, and I've done that in this. I've done this in gun safety, and we have saved lives. This is scientifically proven. There's no debate about this. It is clear for Donald Trump and Chief CULP to deny that is really quite extraordinary. The scientific community is clear. It has saved thousands of lives, and more importantly, it will save thousands of more lives in this country and in this state if we continue this course. No court has struck down any of my decisions that are obviously controversial. Look, this has been hard on people. Saving lives sometimes is not easy. People have had all kinds of difficulties in their lives and their businesses, but it unequivocally has shown. We had an infection disease doctor yesterday. Check his testimony out. He'll tell you.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.